Finally, he's bringing in his dropship group to do a little bit of damage to that. Dropping on top of the missile turrets, which is maybe not the best call. I think if dropping directly on top of the tanks that were there might have been a little bit better. I guess there's Goliath in the area too, so it wouldn't have made too much of a difference either way. Now, HiyA trying to take the center of the map once again. He has a very large tank force in the middle of the map. He's just kind of sent all of his extra tanks to rally in the middle of the map, and now he has over a whole control group of tanks marching down to take the center of the map. And I don't know if go.go's been keeping up in terms of army like this. I haven't seen such a sizable force from him, and it might be partly due to the fact that he's been sort of losing these engagements and hasn't been able to mine fully on this third base. I already missed my split, so I'm going to go ahead and keep talking through this. Not splitting videos for a little while has really taken away my timing of being able to remember when 10 or 11 minutes is coming up so that I can purposefully split my videos. But HiyA coming in and taking out that 3 o'clock base. He has dropped in a lot of forces, combined with those forces that are in the middle of the map that he's moving down. Has moved go.go completely out. That command center is still under attack as it's moving over that wide bridge, but there's not even that many forces for go.go to retreat into, so that command center still might go down. It looks like instead he is trying to take that northeast base, so instead of taking the southwest base like he had anticipated on doing, he is moving up to the northeast and actually building in the center of the map in that Andromeda style double expansion right in the middle. I think personally that that's kind of a waste of resources, because we've already seen that HiyA has a very large army hanging out around the middle of the map. All he has to do is walk in there to basically take out that base, and any SCVs that get transferred over there and any forces that are defending. It's a very vulnerable base, so I don't imagine that go.go is going to be able to hold it for very long. He's got that command center that was landed in the southwest at that 7 o'clock base, but it is probably going to burn down, and just like I said, that huge force is walking down and is killing off this expansion. It looks like go.go did cancel it in time, but he does lose an SCV and a few tanks that were hanging out trying to defend it. Maybe he was using it as bait to put in this drop force, but not really. That's not enough forces to really deal with HiyA's entire army, and HiyA just has a commanding lead right now. He has established a base in the southwest main starting position. He is building the base in that 7 o'clock base at that natural expansion. That command center that go.go had built just burned down without being repaired, and go.go is probably only mining off of that one base up in the northeast that is being dropped on right now. HiyA with a huge group of dropships combined with the rest of his army that are just walking up the ramp. And yeah, I don't think HiyA has anything to defend against this, but we'll see if he can pull out some sort of tricks to deny this. It looks like he did bring in some drop forces to defend that bridge, so no more reinforcements going to be able to come from HiyA. He is also combining that with a counterattack at that 7 o'clock base to try to at least retake that position and deny it from HiyA. And he really needs to do that, but he also needs to move all the way up into the main base and be able to take it out from there. HiyA coming in with his counter drop, and he wants to stop that before he can do it. go.go just smart enough to turn around, I suppose, but he hasn't moved himself completely out of the danger. But HiyA being able to pull his dropship forces all the way back into that southwest starting position has been able to defend that base. So he is still up at least one base on go.go, and go.go really needs to establish a base that he can defend right now. He needed, you know, I don't really know exactly how he could have defended that northeast base. HiyA just has such a massive army. go.go really needs to just be dropping directly on top of mining bases rather than trying to engage troops, but there are so many troops out for HiyA that it's really hard to avoid them, I suppose. This is also a pretty good option right here. You know, dropping on smaller forces. If he can find the smaller groups of forces for HiyA that are hidden around the map, then he might be able to sort of nickel and dime HiyA's army until it's reasonable, a manageable size, I suppose. But I got to imagine that HiyA is on the brink of maxing out in terms of army. while go.go, I mean, I'm just ballparking it here because I don't know exactly what the stats are. I would imagine that he's probably only at 130 or 150, something like that supply. And here we go, once again, HiyA coming in and counter dropping on top of those forces that cleared out the forces in the northeast. That's a lot of forces that I'm talking about. And HiyA just has the money to build a ton of missile turrets at any expansion he's built. That southwest starting position, he has at least 10 missile turrets to defend against these dropships. Only a couple of tanks to defend, so HiyA will be able to slow down that expansion maybe a little bit, but you know, HiyA, it feels comfortable, I think, right now playing the tag game, I suppose. You know, go.go's tagging him by dropping on his bases, but HiyA can just bring a bigger force and wipe out that entire force of go.go. So go.go is ending up losing a lot of army in terms of that. He is able to take out that expansion over in the southwest, so at least getting that done, preventing any extra economy coming in for go.go, but for HiyA, but I don't know if that is going to be enough to keep him in this. Basically, all that he's been doing recently is a lot of delay tactics. He's been behind on bases for quite a while, and he hasn't been able to establish any extra bases to keep it running. It looks like he is almost mined out at that third base. HiyA is, meanwhile, obviously they're both mined out at their main and their natural. HiyA is getting thin at his third and fourth bases, but go.go is only at his, well, I guess go.go has that third and fourth base as well, but critically HiyA has that base, that territory up in the northeast, and he has been mining over here in the southwest for a while. I haven't seen the upgrades in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out the upgrades once I see this. But right now we're seeing some first-person cams. Not too much exciting going on. Still just posturing in the middle of the map. Both players still want to take either one of those bases in either the northeast or southwest cleanly. go.go at the moment has the territory over in the southwest, but not being able to defend that easily defendable wide bridge outside of the natural expansion, and HiyA coming in with a huge dropship force to clear out any remnant defenses up top here, and he will be able to take that out and likely be able to take out that command center that go.go has up there as well. go.go coming in with a counter drop, but is he going to have enough forces? He does have the high ground advantage here, but I thought he didn't have quite enough tanks to get it done, but he had a couple extra in that dropship, so he is able to keep this base alive for a little while longer, and that's going to be able to bring him into this game. I think maybe even this out for a little while if he's able to keep this base running. Meanwhile, HiyA is in the same position where he has just barely established the base at the northeast position, but it is certainly in a fragile state as well. If go.go decides he wants to drop on it, he can probably take it out. And really, that's what's happening down here to him at the southwest base, so almost a mirror matchup right now, where both players just almost out of minerals at all of the bases that they've been working on, and one of them needs to get a base at either the northeast or southwest. Currently, HiyA is slightly in the lead in that race just because he has a command center that's still landed, and he has been able to effectively slow down go.go from taking that southwest base, but really just a little bit of a seesaw match going on right now in terms of trying to land a base and get it up and running. And go.go had already transferred basically all of his SCVs, all of the ones at least that had been at the 3 o'clock base. That finally mined out, so he sent them all to the southwest to help mine, but just kind of forgot about him once he had to move his command center. HiyA coming in now with a big drop and is able to clear out all of the defenses that go.go has in the southwest. So go.go in a little bit of trouble right now. If those forces are able to move down into the natural expansion and kill off that command center, he's going to be at a very large disadvantage. He is able to counter drop and clear out those forces though, so he will be safe at least for now. But go.go needs to do that economic harassment of his own if he wants to keep himself in this game for longer. HiyA is now mining at both the northeast main starting position and the northeast natural expansion. So he, just because he hasn't been harassed, has been able to get a one base advantage over go.go right now, and go.go is struggling to keep enough defenses over in the southwest. Anyways, at this point, I am actually going to split the video at the 20-minute mark so that I can split that into 2 parts and keep the keep my videos at least somewhat consistent. Anyway, see you in part, I suppose, 4.